Hey, what up, fam? Welcome to another episode of the Kids Vibe Podcast. Hey, there you go. So, we're still in a series about making $1 out of 50 cents. And this time around, we were talking about strategies to making opportunities. In the last video that we made, we talked about how to make and create opportunities. But this time around, we're actually talking about these strategies. And we're going to talk about people's life and what they actually had to do. But to start this video off, there's a quote from Richard Branson that says that if somebody presents you with opportunity and you're not ready for it, say yes and go figure it out.
I believe that 100% because that happened to me this past summer.
Okay. So that's going to be a basis of our conversation today. But I have with me my man Rod Stevenson. I got DJ the Juice Man. I got Nikki two times. And I got my man Peanut. What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, gentleman?
Okay.
Hey, on that quote on Richard Branson, I believe that 100%. Know your limits, though, because if somebody be like, hey, man, I need you to go here and give a brief on astrophysics, and you don't know anything about astrophysics, don't do it. Yeah. All right, so make sure it's in your realm of.
Wait. Did you do a speech on astrophysics?
Yeah. Hey, you want to talk about astrophysics? Dude, I got it. I didn't have it at all.
But it also said, say yes and go figure it out.
Yes.
Bro. Do you know how much do you know about black holes?
Whoa. But that's the whole point, though.
Trick question.
Were you applying for a job at NASA?
No. That's an analogy, but what I'm getting at is make sure it's at least in your realm of like, all right, I know enough about it to start to piece these puzzles together. Like I use astrophysics because I know zero about it. That was it.
Yeah, a lot of people will do this thing where they there's the saying, "Don't BS a BSer," right? Don't do it. Don't do it. It's if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
But if you don't know it, now you know you don't know it, and you can go learn.
Well, not only that, you just demonstrate your flaws and say, "Hey, I don't know that," and maybe you learn something from that.
So don't do what specifically.
So
don't talk about astrophysics if you don't know about it.
My man said,
No. That's a subject, but I'm talking about what specifically don't you do as far as like don't take up something you don't know or don't take up something that you know you can't even understand.
If they tell me to show up to, I'm going to talk about what I know. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm going to relate it to something in my field, right?
Okay.
In our field. We all know we're in the same field. If they tell me, they say, hey, I need you to talk about an F-18 engine. Through in and throughout. About changing an F-18 engine. I don't know the first thing about changing an F-18 engine. I know what to look for if it's broken. But even then, I'm not 100% sure. But if they said, hey, we need you to talk about changing an F-18 engine, no way. Don't do it. But some people will. There's this thing about in the career field that we're all in where you have to be the subject matter expert on a certain topic at a certain time. So it's like, hey, I know this, and they'll march down the hallway and just make a fool out of themselves and talking about changing an F-18 engine when you don't know the first thing about it. I'm an ordnance man. The hell I know about changing an F-18 engine?
Big facts. Stay in your realm. I got a question though, and that's you hit the nail on the head. Don't speak on what you don't know about. If you don't know about it, stay true to yourself. But as far as making $1 out of 50 cents and strategies, like what's something that any of y'all or any of us, because I can answer this too, have been through where you feel like you had something and you use that as a platform to make something bigger or something better?
I personally,
Pick me.
I personally use the avenues available to me to promote myself. I feel like, where I was, I wasn't happy, and I wasn't where I really wanted to be. So I said, hey, there's some guys that come around that really help me out. If I could figure out how to talk to them, what to do it. I figured out that I had all the qualifications met. Let's talk to them. What's the least the conversation's going to do? And that's the first thing you do is that if you meet the qualifications for something, why not say, hey, I got 50 cents. Let's make $1 out of it.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. You're going to get if you have the qualifications, you're going to gain more experience whenever you run through it. They got that term, fake it till you make it. That only goes, no kidding, that only goes so far. That doesn't, that gets you your foot in the door, but if you don't know what you're doing after you get in the door, then, what are you doing? So onto strategy, it's all resources. It's all, what are you doing? You just got to make yourself available.
So what have you done though?
But I feel like fake it till you make it is we all fake it till we make it, to be honest with you, because when you're there, say you're going to school, you're a mech, all right, you're a mechanic on aircraft. You didn't know the aircraft when you first stepped up. I think you were in Whidbey Island, right? Yeah. You didn't know what the hell you was looking at whenever you showed up there, but you kind of acted. You didn't show up there and be like, I don't know nothing, guys.
I'm completely oblivious. I didn't learn anything in A school.
Yeah. You didn't, but you acted like, hey, you know what I mean? I kind of I know, so if you're there, you know a little bit of something, you know what I mean? So,
so what y'all were saying, sorry.
Go ahead, you go.
Tied off, and this is going to be real quick, what y'all were saying is I did meet some of the qualifications leaving one of my positions of the Blues, and I went into San Diego, and they automatically assumed that I would fit a position as leading 30 new people, right? So I went there, I had no idea really what I was doing, but I ran it flawlessly. I talked to the people. I ended up leading them well, where I built my position up to a quality assurance position and then to a maintenance control. And then I was not only leading 30 people, but I led 300 people. So basically what I did for my strategy on that was, one, I didn't say no. I said, okay, I'm gonna take the position that was given to me. The next strategy is I learned everybody in my field to make my field better, like the people that I was learning. Leading, and then I just ran with it, and I didn't know what I was doing on a day-to-day basis, and a lot of things would change. It would change. It'd be something completely different, and I'd have to run with it and have to come up with stuff on the fly.
And I think that's what the quote was really actually trying to imply, because he could have said no, because he didn't know anything about what he was going to do. Mm-hmm. He could have said no, but that was an opportunity, right? He said yes. And he learned it, and he figured it out, and he mastered it. I think that's what. But the fact that you don't know anything about that position or whatever, that job, it's really not grounds to say no. Because guess what you just did? You just passed a whole opportunity to somebody else, and this opportunity might never come back to you. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying?
I think it got a lot to do with, and I'm not disagreeing with you, by the way, before I even get going. But that his specific situation has a lot to do with his realm of knowledge already. So yeah, he had never been in that position, so he didn't really know from the jump how he would do it. But because his whole career was based on that realm, he had done things in that, being in the lower level of that position before being in the leadership position for that, because he had been in prior leadership positions, he could take from his experiences before from working in that type of environment, and then take from his leadership positions immediately prior to, and put those together and basically be successful because of that.
I can agree, but at the same time, I was never in a position like that. I was never in a leading position of that nature. I was never at that capacity as yet. And I didn't have that responsibility, because when it comes to responsibility in those positions, it's coming up from the bottom and the top, and you're the guy, you're the middle guy, and you're the guy that's going to either get in trouble or you're going to reap the benefits. But on the DJ, what were you going to say?
Well, I know you guys just take this to the extreme just now, but let's step it down a little bit. let's go down to like the basics of life, right? When you go to a restaurant, like you get a menu that just have like words. You don't know what you're looking at. You get a menu that have pictures on it. All of a sudden, you know what you're looking at.
Hell yeah.
So technically, taking that analogy and step it up a little bit. In all line of work, let's say you that first guy who got your qualification, and you make some PowerPoint form or presentation or whatever to follow this follow this information that instruction that you're putting out to your next lower guys that's going to be taught the next lesson. Like if you take an example for the engine, I can promise you any of us can learn how to remove an engine if there's pictures in the next step on the next step on the next step. But it takes you to believe in yourself and believe in what you're about to do in order for you to do it. So the research is done first. Whoever did the research, there's instruction out there to do everything step by step. It's like putting this desk together. There's an instruction on how to put this desk together, and there's an instruction on how to take it off, and all that stuff. So if somebody already took the time to put the step by step there, it's possible, but you just gotta do the research, like the quote say. So if you take the time to do the research and you take the step by step and you follow the steps, there's no way that anything that you do in life, you're not going to be able to follow it. But a lot of people, I hate to say, they like to take the easy way out by being lazy, by just going by what's up here, because they think they already know what's going on, but they're not following what's already been done. I've heard this word so many times, don't reinvent the wheel. The wheel's already been invented by somebody else. Why not use what's in front of you by reading a few paragraphs and seeing what's going on instead of just screwing yourself over it, just skipping that one step like I was talking about earlier, and then you just, boom, you just created like a few days of work that could have been done in a few minutes if I did not skip that one step.
Stick to the plan.
You know what I'm saying? So stick to the plan that you already made or somebody already created for you and do the research. Sometime a half an hour research can save you a few days.
And that doesn't mean you can't build on it.
Of course you can. Of course you can. But like if somebody already invented and it's already out there, use it. You just gotta do a little bit of research. Maybe you gotta see that picture that's in front of you. Maybe sometimes people may be able to from the words they can read, they may be able to picturize that thing in their head. But it doesn't work that way for everybody. So if you do your research, you know what you used to, and be able to, go that route, whatever route works for you. I think you'll be fine. Just be ready.
Okay. I think one of the reasons why people don't come up with a new strategies to face, whatever opportunity it is because people hang out with same people of similar traits.
Birds of a feather flock together, my man.
Cool. So what I mean by that is this, right? So if we know the same thing and we always hanging out, all we know is the same thing, right? We kind of in a box, right? So all we're gonna do is what we know, because that's all we know. However, if I'm different and he's different, every time we meet up, it's gonna be like, oh, I know this, or you know that. Guess what? Based on these two different and diverse knowledges, we're gonna create a whole new opportunity for something else. So the reason why people don't really create new strategies all the time about new opportunities is because they get comfortable and they hang out with people of similar character and similar trait.
So you're saying that they're limiting themselves?
That falls part of it.
I tell people, because I like to use birds of a feather flock together, I say don't be a pigeon. If you find yourself hanging around pigeons, probably a pigeon, bro. And then I also tell them, who does the eagle see in top flight? Another eagle. That's it. You only gonna see another eagle. So you spoke on watch who you hanging around. It get lonely at the top. We know that. But in top flight, though it does get lonely, you will see somebody else who is out here living the lonely life as well. And hey, you want to be lonely friends? So we don't be lonely. That's a strategy right there to try to find somebody. So when you on your straight and narrow path, and everybody else is on the highway because it's easy and it's bigger, and it's like I'm walking, and I come across DJ, and I'm like, oh wow, where are you going? And he's like, I'm going here. And so, fancy that. I'm going here too on this long hard road. You want to hang out? And then we just keep going together. And now, while we on this journey, we just keep learning from each other and learning. So that's a strategy in itself, is take time and separate yourself from these people who just don't want it. If they don't want it, it's fine. Like, that's cool. I'll come down and I'll give them stuff like, hey, when I was up here, these are things that I've seen because I got a better view than you. So you can pick this apart and you can do something with it, so you can start to get up here, and then it's like, all right, cool, dim apart, I'm out.
Hey, to expand on that, so like for all of us, I could say that we're for the most part extroverts. Like, what would you give advice for someone that's an introvert that doesn't like to really branch out like that, but wants to grow?
If they want to grow, you got to just take the first step. If you're an introvert, you can be an introvert. Everybody doesn't have to be this charismatic, out there person that grabs attention. You can be the dude who sits in the back. The thing is, yeah, see, Rod over there is hanging out doing this introvert thing. You can do the same thing that the charismatic person does. The charismatic person gets out there, they talk to people. It's just the charismatic person talks to more people. They talk to everyone. Whereas the introvert can just be like, no, I picked my target already. Like, I don't need to talk to all these people. I need to talk to that person. And then just be confident enough to know what you want to talk about, and then go up to that person and just spark it off, and then go from there. You don't like it, it's fine, but use that to only to what you need it for. I don't like talking to people. Cool. You don't like talking to people? Only talk to them when you need to. Mm-hmm. Other than that, go back in your shell.
I feel like that's how I was raised. I personally was raised like that. My mom would tell me, I don't need friends. And I didn't understand it as a young kid, because I always wanted to have friends. But as I got older, a lot of y'all know my situation. A lot of know what's going on with me. But I learned to just, all right, I'll talk to you. If y'all want to talk to me, don't talk to me. You know what I mean? If I don't want to talk to you, I'm not going to talk to you. I don't got nothing to say to you. You know what I mean? If y'all want to talk about the business, like we just had a whole conversation about school because that's what we all relate on. But if you're not relating with me on anything, I'm going to keep it pushing, man. Probably going to butt heads, probably, you know what I mean? Because I'm not into the clown stuff that you got going on. But hey, the business that I got going on, head on forward. If you want to join this flock, let's go. If you don't, hey, I'm gonna let you be.
Yeah. So it's crazy that both of you just mentioned this flock of birds, like that analogy that one of the leadership just used a few days ago. When those birds are flying together, the one in the middle always leading the pack, right? So he's the one just leading the pack, taking all the rain that's coming in. So he's walking hard or whatever. So whenever he gets tired, he gets to the back, and then one take over and just taking all the force. So you gotta be part of a circle that's kind of work that way, like a teamwork. Sometimes you may not be able to understand something, and that the next person may be able to explain it to you and get you on the right path. You just gotta be able to understand who's in your circle and the people you let in your circle. Like you said, you are who you hang out with. So if you're gonna do some stuff and you hanging out with a bunch of bums, that makes you a bum. I hate to say, but that's
Nick's extent.
Yo, facts are facts.
It's not taking a shot. But what I'm saying is, like, you are who you hang out around. Just because you talk to people doesn't mean you hang out with them. That makes sense. The people that are in your circle, that's the people who's going to support you on the stuff that you do, and they're going to call you out on your BS, and they're going to clap you on whenever you're doing good stuff. So they gotta be able to do that and you gotta be able to take it in. Don't be that dude who have thin skin. Oh man, I don't like what you say. We want on the same page, so I'm gonna cut you out. No, that's not how this works. Take the feedback, make sure if you feel like you need to fix it, sometimes you may need to just take a few hours and just get out of your feelings and understand that that's the thing that this man just said to you, or this female just said to you. You needed to hear it and fix it. Call it a day and go back and just move on with your life. But a lot of people get in their feelings and let their actual personality get in front of them, and they'll never be able to move on.
Yeah, I like how you said that, definitely. And how what Kuchi was saying, I always call people bums. I call it out. Like, hey, if you're being a bum, you're a bum. And sometimes I even call it on myself, like, damn, I'm being a bum today, and I got to dig myself out that hole. But like you were saying, when that flock of the leader, that leader is in the pack, you got to build your strategies, because who you lead is a direct reflection of you and your reputation. So that if they're being bums and you don't know about it, you don't know your people or any of that stuff, you essentially are a bum too, because you're leading bums. I
got a strategy. My bad.
No, go ahead, and I'm done.
I got a strategy to make $1 out of 15 cents. It's a long game. I like to play long games in life because I feel like that's where that's where the real fruit comes in the long games. The short runs, you'll get some for a little bit. To me, the short games are like drinking energy drinks. That sugar gonna give me hype, but it's gonna kill me. The long games, like if I eat better, I'll be able to stay alive and stay well a little bit longer. But basically what I'm getting at is, so at one point at my last organization, my last year there, I thought I was stroking. Like I was stroking hard. I got everything I felt like I wanted to get at that point in time. And I got this big qualification, and I had already written my eval. I didn't need to, you always need to do something, but you know how it is. It's to say, hey, bro, your eval already written, dog. You really don't. Your eval already written. They already ranked you. Really don't need to do nothing, because unless you really screw the pooch, nothing's gonna change, right? But my philosophy was, no, it ain't over till it's over. So I'm riding this thing on out. Like I'm still volunteering for stuff. So I volunteered to lead some stuff on the road that, up until before I did it, to my knowledge, no other first class had done it. So as far as I know, I was the first one to do it, and I did it twice, and I did it pretty well both times. But I had to sacrifice my time because I was a partier, and I had to give up my party time so I can do my big boy stuff. But in short, 2 years later, I feel like that action and playing the long game and not stopping until it was actually over helped me, because I got a surprise phone call one day with somebody asking me to be a part of something that is, and Nick, you can maybe agree on it, is pretty big. I'm not going to speak on what it was, but it was pretty big, and it was a very good opportunity. And I feel like that literally only came because my work ethic, because people knew that, if anybody's going to get anything done, it's going to be Peanut. Like, he's got the qualifications for it, and he's shown that even when it's not necessary, to him it's necessary. And the fruits of my labor playing that long game, it helped me out in a really good way. So that's a good strategy. Don't stop until it's over. And even after you feel like you've won, like, it's things that you can't even see because you don't have one of them little fortune teller balls or whatever. So just keep it pushing, keep it going, because something that you did one day you won't even see until 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, and you're like, man, I did not expect this thing from that long ago to pop up and just really assist me in this area. So making that dollar out of it.
Shout outs to y'all too, though. Nick and Peanut on that long game that y'all put together, for Halloween's, and maybe one of these days we could probably talk about it, kind of explain what that game is and see if people want to do it. But it was pretty long and it was pretty interesting.
Yo, we was out here.
Just a quick, he put me on it, so I had nothing to do with it, really. It was mostly his recognition and all that stuff. But to talk about his strategies, he didn't even know the outcome of what the strategy he was doing. So to look back on it, yeah, it did help him out. But at the time, he didn't know what he was doing that was going to help him out 1 or 2 years later. So that's something to know, too, is just because you're doing something, you're doing, just keep on doing it, because it's a strategy. It's what you believe is right then and there, and it might help you out in the long run. And essentially, this guy helped out 500,000 people. you know, and in the long run. So
Also, in short, I'm put this together. Another strategy is, and we always speak on it, talking about circles or whatever. Keep good people in your circle. So Nick got his degree in aviation safety, right? And this thing we was doing, like it was in my realm, but it would have took me a lot longer. So that's why I was like, I know somebody who knows about this. And if it's anybody who I would ever consider maybe more of a bulldog than me, which is a rarity, it's gonna be Nick. So I got Nick to be involved with it. And the strategy is very, like specifically be very particular with the company you keep, because I was able to throw Nick in there simply because that's my dog and he knows what he's talking about. And then everybody get to eat. Then if you know why you friends with people. Yeah. Don't just be friends with people to be friends with them. Remember why that you keep these people in your circle and keep up with them and make sure they keep up with you. Because you shouldn't, I'm not saying to keep people around to have them potentially help you out, but if they your dogs, you know they're going to do it.
I like that. So like friends could be a strategy too. You could definitely use them.
That's a big strategy. That's what friends are for. I tell people all that time, like, yo, I'm going to use you, so use me. Like, that's what we're here for.
First off, we need like some little red thing, so when you want to talk, you hit the button and like, hey, all right, you know what I mean? We got to we got to evolve the situation.
Man, in class, man. Just
okay.
Just jump in.
If y'all don't want one, just get me one so I can hit it. You gotta
get back to the barbarian lifestyle.
Speaking on, okay, so we are human, okay? Yep. But if you look back at us, you know what I mean, we relate to the primitive days, right? I mean, we're not that far off. 1,000 years is not that old, right? But if you look at the primitive days, they were looking at making the strongest clan. So y'all got a strong clan there, you know what I mean? I'm sure it's not just you two. There's a lot of people, I mean, there's a few other people that you can call on and say, hey, this is what I need. You know what I mean? Hey, are you in? And yeah, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. You know, and that's what it's really about, is finding that solid group of people that you can depend on and say, hey, let's all make this happen. You may not benefit from it. You may not benefit from it. You may not benefit from it. He benefit from it, but next time it may be you to benefit from it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like having that group of folks that everybody together. Not everybody's going to benefit from it, but it's going to go around in a circle.
Yeah,
it's gonna go around in a circle. So This time it may be me, next time it may be you. But as long as we know together that we're on the same page of making something happen, making $1 out of 50 cents, we stick together. It's all gonna happen. We all gonna come up. It doesn't matter where you come from.
I like that.
Knowing that if my dog eat, I'm gonna eat, and if I eat, my dog gonna eat.
Yep. But we can wrap up this session, and of course we're gonna take our departing words, and I think this is where I'm gonna put mine, right? I think there's no better strategy to creating opportunities than being the first person to create that opportunity, right? It's a whole lot easier to ride on something that somebody already created. Yeah, easy. You already have the blueprint. Do it. Boom, boom, boom. Right. However, if you are the first person to do it, right, your name is gonna go in the history books. You are gonna be the originator of something, right? And I think that causes more impact than anything else, because when anybody, however many years down the road, come back and reference that blueprint, is gonna be, oh yeah, Peanut came up with this. You know, once upon a time, Peanut said X, Y, and Z.
You talking about my roast?
That's part of it. Your name is attached to it, right? But you know, I think the best strategy of all, in my opinion, is being the first to come up with something, and that usually is going to be coming up with a new strategy that has not come up yet. However, all of these are really relative, right? Because just like when I said that, you know, the series was gonna be called Making $1 Out of 50 Cents, right? Somebody back in the day had said making $1 out of 15 cents that I had never heard about, right? So in my immediate circle, it was more like, okay, this is all I know. Making $1 out of 50 cents, something I just came up with. However, somebody had already come up with it a long time ago, which kind of goes back to how much you know and how you can build on that to create new strategies. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be my departing words. But we're going to go ahead and get our departing words and kind of wrap up this session.
My departing words will be: take care of your platform. All right, whatever platform you hold, take care of it. Making $1 out of 50 cents, right? So where you are, you have to clean it, make sure it's good. If it's not clean, it's not good. It's not going to grow. You're not going to move anywhere because you've got junk in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you take care of the platform you have. Anybody, anybody who's around you, anybody who's with you, make sure they're clean because they are on your platform also. Make sure you take care of your clan. If you haven't taken care of your clan, you haven't taken care of your platform. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, for me, just when you have a baseline and you create something, be open to criticism. Like somebody might have some feedback that's gonna make your baseline a little better. So just be open to that next criticism and just take it in. And don't be that guy that, hey, I made this, I know how it works. No, that next person might make it better. That make you that next guy. Mm-hmm. That might put you on the platform. So don't ever be too good to take criticism and just take the next guy idea and roll with it. So you never know what can happen.
That's 100%. You can grow from that for sure.
Yeah.
So my closing remarks is: life is like a chess game. Knowing more strategies is going to get you the end result that you really want. And that being said, there's not just one strategy. Don't just stick to one strategy. Expand your knowledge and use different strategies on different things in different positions. That's it.
Talking about developing strategies, understand that there will always be variables, things that change with whatever plan that you're trying to execute. But no matter what strategy you choose to take up or whatever strategy you learn, every strategy has to be grounded in some type of principles. Choose your principles wisely. 2 principles, I believe, will help you whenever you developing any sort of strategy and executing any sort of plan is patience and self-control. All right, know that you made the plan for a reason and you're supposed to execute it a certain way for a reason. How to the self-control to execute it as planned, and have patience. All right, things don't happen as fast as we would like them to. It ain't about the instant gratification. It's about the overall satisfaction. So patience and self-control, ground every strategy you ever make in some sort of principles. Let that be your foundation, because if you don't have a foundation, you are going to fail.
I like that. So yeah, this is the end of this episode, and we're still on the series of making $1 out of 50 cents. And in this particular video, we talked about strategies and how to build new opportunities. But I've had with me Ross Stevenson, I've had DJ the Juice Man, I've had Nicky 2 times, and I've had Peanut.
I kind of come up with like an alley or something.
You were talking about birds all night.
What sound does an eagle make? I don't know.
Well, thank you for sticking around and watching the video and always supporting it. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube so we can always bring you more. Hit on the bell button so you can get all the notifications down there. And until we see you next time, take care. We'll see you around.
If you don't, you're getting a text message.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, that's right.